Hello and welcome to episode 16 of Mostly Off Topic, playing The One Ring, second edition. This intro is recorded after, because I did quite a hard edit in the end of the last episode. Our heroes are in the Shire and doing Shire things, interacting with hobbits, enjoying fine food, fine dining, and a spot of fishing. They're down by the river bank near Whitfurrow, having just encountered a kingfisher after its own food. We'll pick up straight away, but we've got Esteldor, Tolman, and Gudrun all down by the riverside. Surprising, a few hobbits that didn't quite expect to encounter them down there. Hope you enjoy the episode. Thank you for watching. So, if they're not from Bookland, where do you think they're from then, ma'am? Well, from like Breeland, for instance. Oh wow, she's so graceful. Nothing that a good few meals wouldn't sort out. And that man looks really strong. Yes, but he needs a good tailor, doesn't he? Look at them; they're just basically rags. And I can smell from here he needs a bath. Okay, wow. Ma'am. Well, we better be getting back. It's going to be going dark soon, and you kind of hear them wandering off. Sorry, Esteldor. So, are you just watching all this kind of going on? Yeah.
I was just saying, I'm just sitting there, like, confused.
You've got this.
I like that kingfisher. I like that kingfisher. I do. I like him. King of the river.
It is
Tom's just in a dream world.
King of the river between the Alder and where the stream narrows, at the very least. And it is now starting to kind of get dark, albeit reasonably warm, and the stars starting to shine out in the open night. You pick up the remains of the trout and head off back into back towards where the bridge is, and you can see that there's Budgeford, a much smaller town, but the very large building that you recognise to be the Bolger family, and then off there's the town of Whitfurrows, further up where the Two Squares Inn resides.
Is anyone like milling around, or is it kind of late, so late that people are starting to?
It's early evening, but because it's October, it gets dark reasonably early, and people tend to be when the sun rises and when the sun sets in terms of their activities, and they're either at the hearth ordinarily, or they'll be in the inn or the places where people gather and meet.
Well, maybe I ought to get cleaned up anyway.
So back to the inn.
Yeah.
Tolman?
Okay.
Gudrun?
Then you head back to the inn,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much as it has been before. The food has moved on, as it does to the evening meal. Gert seems to have gathered about himself a little collection of hobbits of various ages who are listening to his tales and telling their own a little bit. Nathaniel has moved on to sharpening his sword, just to kind of keep it going. What's that big metal thing that he's got, ma'am? Is that a sword? No, you've been spending too much time listening to your gaffer with his silly stories. No, they're bread knives. They're bread knives, I'll warrant. Bread knives, ma'am. Aye, bread knives. They're like, you can see they're so much bigger than us, so it stands to reason they'll have bigger bread and they'll need bigger bread knives, won't they? If you say so, ma'am, but we never take our bread knives out of the house. Conversations like that ongoing. and the evening passes in the 2 squares in. Everybody stares every so often at the group. Lots of chat, ale flows, food flows, and the night closes. Similar the next morning, though everybody's up a little bit earlier, having had less of a long evening. There's a change in the weather. The skies are now much more grey than blue. Cloud overcast. The temperature's dropped a few degrees. The wind's cooler and it's blowing that much more hard. Breakfast is served, but the place is emptying out. The tables are no longer in the cafeteria style and are starting to become more individual tables. People start to make their way back from the Harvest Festival to the surrounding lands.
It seems like maybe a good time for us to think about moving on as well. There's a lot more Shire to the west than there is to the east of us.
Yeah. Gudrun, didn't you have to do some things in the Shire?
Yes, I need to bring a parcel to Mr. Baggins, and oh no, I forgot if I already brought the recipe.
So you got given some
To-
spices to take to the
Yes.
inn in Frogmorton to help improve their frog leg
Exactly.
soup.
But we didn't get there to Frogmorton.
So Frogmorton's the town to the west of where you are. It'll be, if you were to walk along the east road, is the town that you're going to hit next.
So also this, and we also need to bring these spices to Frogmorton Inn. So
Well,
yes,
that's not too far along the road.
Yeah, Tolman reckons if you were to push on and not be afraid of hitting the dark at the other end, you could probably get through Frogmorton. And this, if you're not dallying, you could get through Frogmorton and you could push on to the Green Dragon Inn at Hobbiton. Within the day, you reckon? But there's no dallying, there's no hanging around, there's no kind of like talking to kingfishers or anything like that available there.
I heard that the beer in the Dragon Inn is delicious.
Oh,
Isn't it?
The beer is good. The golden ale in the Green Dragon is good. Yeah, they've got good pies as well. They do a nice goat's cheese
please
pie.
don't even mention any pie, please. In the next few weeks.
You mean what? Really? I'm not allowed to mention the word pie.
No, please, not in my presence.
Well, we can't. You can't journey west through the Shire and not talk about pies.
Oh well, maybe
Anyway.
use a synonym, please.
Nathaniel's like, the doom of the pastry-laden, meat-filled product is upon us.
Starts sharpening his pie sword.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we can stop off in Frogmorton if you want. I'm sure they'll be very pleased that you brought them some spices from all that way. I don't mind. I'll sleep under the stars anyway if we don't make it to Hobbiton in time.
We could stop in Frogmorton, by the way, couldn't we?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Sounds good to me.
I'm not going to have any of that frog like stuff they have. That's not my idea of a meal.
Okay, so you leave Whitfurrows, leave the inn behind, head out along the east road. Every so often it skirts by the river, and you're moving out into more agricultural land. To the south in particular, it starts lower down. You can see quite a distance across. Cereal crops, cabbage crops, very little given over to pasture, but some, and those fields that are closer to the road have dairy cows in them, but it's more small holdings. To the north, where the river runs, you can see that it looks to be much. It rises, the land rises up. Again, small holdings, farms, but less crops, more pasture as you move further there. And because of the rise of the land, there's a lot less for you to be able to see. Copses of trees dotted around. The wind is coming behind you and driving you forward a little bit, and you can feel the turn of the seasons as there are more dead heads on the cosmos than there are flowers. The sunflowers are coming into seed. The yellow face gathered about them started to peel away a little. But a very pleasant journey, and much more traffic betwixt Whitfurrows and Frogmorton than there was as you headed over to the Brandywine Bridge. Morning, afternoon, good day. Everybody stares at you as you move through. And then you start to come down towards the buildings, start to increase in density, and the air becomes a little bit more still, and you can see that the river starts to move more slowly, and it's becoming more marsh-like, bulrushes rather than trees. Some marshweed at the side. The river becomes a little bit indistinct, and then it splits out, and you can hear as the frog chorus that gives Frogmorton its name. Herons soar down and kind of land, start to take up their pitch there. Stone-built houses gathered around Frogmorton. Not the smeals or the hobbit holes that you might be expecting to find. And you see as you get to the centre there, but this is a much more grand inn than the Two Squares Inn. The Two Squares Inn, in comparison, you thought it was nice actually, but the wood panelling here is filigreed. The floating log inn has a floating log as a sign. It's got a garden that extends down towards the riverside. Much larger stables. Gert is able to find a place for Bert there without too much issue. And as you walk in, ducking your heads, as instinct is starting to get to you that you have to do, there's a bustling activity. It doesn't need a harvest festival to have this. And there's smells that emerge of varying spices and flavours, an array of barrels of ale, casks of wine, probably the longest, much longer bar than you've seen at either the Prancing Pony or the Two Squares Inn. The Two Squares Inn, by comparison, is a motel compared to this grand hotel of the floating lock. A couple of Hobbit girls come over to you. Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
Big folk.
Afternoon.
We don't really have many big folk coming around. Hold on, that's Tolman Bunce. I thought that you left the Shire.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Of course I left the Shire, otherwise I couldn't have come back. Why does everyone find that so difficult to grasp?
Oh, well, there's no need for that. So welcome to the floating log. We've got our. Are you on a table?
Yeah, but I don't want to eat any frog's legs.
No frog's legs.
Don't make me.
We're
No,
not going to make you.
I don't
but-
want to. I don't want to sit next to anyone who's eating it either. So
Master Broadbelt has been perfecting his recipes.
well, I'm very pleased for him, but I don't want to even smell it, if I'm honest.
Well, we'll see what we can do about that. On the rest of you,
I mean,
let's get you
sorry,
seated and get
what?
you some drinks before we start talking about frog's legs this or frog's legs that. There's plenty of other food available. Frog's gizzard.
That Tolman's blushing. He's got his head down.
So a table for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you want a table on your own? You want it in the deepest, darkest part of the...
No.
He's talking to Nathaniel. Deepest, darkest part of the inn. By the shadows of the fire. You want us to close the shutters?
You turn the lamps off around him as well, please.
And you need a stool, and you want to be in the smoking area. Whetstone for the big man.
Have you a smoking area? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a segregated. It's the only place in the Shire where it's smoking, non-smoking. And you kind of take it to the tables. The tables are far too small for you guys, apart from Tolman. And the cutlery is really small, and the plates are really small, and the drinks aren't really what you were expecting the drinks to be. So okay, we'll deal with food in a little while. And golden ales or IPA or stout, whatever you glasses of wine, well, flagons of wine really, are brought out. So as Tolman has said or indicated, our speciality is frog's legs. Now, we've heard some of the feedback that our patrons have provided to us, and we're constantly refining the recipe. And for the moment, frog's leg soup is half price. And if you buy some frog's leg soup, then you can have some grilled frog's legs for free. Otherwise, we've got some ham, we've got some pork loins, we've got some mutton, we've got some lamb, we've got lamb shank, we've got some lamb ribs, we've got some roast chicken, we've got some goat's cheese flan. We've got some lovely chutneys, got a lot of cheeses. We've got some soft cheeses, some hard cheeses, some blue cheeses. We have got some mixed fruit bowls. We've got some vegetable broth. We've got some vegetable broth with barley. We've got some vegetable broth without barley. And it lists off this whole retinue of food available. Now, also we've got our special pies. We've got some steak and kidney pie, some meat and potato pie.
I think maybe I'll just have some water, please.
I'm going with the soup.
Which soup would you like? We've got our frog's leg soup, half price. Get some frog's leg soup.
And the fried legs also.
Fried legs? Well, what about the grilled legs?
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah, both. I need to taste the dishes of the place. They are quite famous.
Well.
Somebody knows about these dishes and asked me to bring here some special ingredients for it.
This isn't a bring your own ingredients kind of place.
Yeah.
Who was it that gave these ingredients?
Oh, is one of the big folk as well.
Big
And
folk ingredients.
no, yes, yes, and he usually were, frankly, um, uh, strange big hat, gray hat, and a gray cloak robe. Anyway, um, it asked me to bring here this, and I bring out of my sack the packet with the spice. This packet, I think there are spice in it to make your soup ever more delicious than it is.
Well, we'll need to go and get the master to do this. Well, and they
Yeah,
race off.
please
And
bring him here.
and out comes quite a large, well-fed hobbit, big sideburns coming around, shaved moustache, shaved bottom, hair slightly thinning around the top, but combed across anyway. He's wearing a big apron, covered in like fish scale murk as he comes through. I'm Juniper Broadbelt. I'm the proprietor of the floating log. I've been told that you've got some big folk spices that's going to improve our frog's leg soup. That's what I've been told.
Yes, this is a gift from a friend of mine
I
that
recognise that
probably
mark.
is a friend of you too.
Gandalf.
That's it.
Gandalf. Well, he's never been very complimentary about our frog's legs.
How maybe that's why he gave you he gives you these spices to make it more tasteable for.
Kind of like opens them and gets his finger, just puts it in. Has a smell. Oh, that's. Oh yes. That's the dried pimento peppers. Some ground pepper in there. It's a base of cumin. I'm not quite sure. Oh, and then there's something just a bit more gritty in it. Oh, that's got some fire in it. Oh, look. There's a little note. Oh, if we want to order more, it's got a place. It says here that Master Farin Ironsnaker of Snapfire Alley is the proprietor, the provider of this spice. If it works, then we can place an order for more. And Gudrun recognises Snapfire Alley as being the place in Dale where all the fireworks get made. So there's a dwarven artisan with some secret spices being made here. Well,
And you know that I am from Dale, so in case when I return, I can bring your answer to the and so you make your business.
well, let's go see what it's like. And he kind of takes the sachet and heads off. The rest of you order whatever food you want to have. And after about 20 minutes, Juniper Broadbelt comes back out with a tray and he's carrying. This is fantastic. Here. And he hands across the soup to Gudrun. And you can smell it. It's got all this flavour, all of this delicacy. And then you like look down and it just looks like some watery, slightly orange liquid with mashed flabby frog's legs in it. We're doing the grilled ones. We're going to put the powder onto the grilled ones. We'll just get them going for you.
I wouldn't mind the grilled ones.
Oh, another set of grilled ones. This is so much more. It's so much more fantastic. Sorry, Gudrun, go on.
And Gudrun tried to taste it. Is a bit. She don't like the how it looks like, but she also think that it could be seen as uncourteous to refuse it. So try to force the spoon to meet her mouth, and if you look her, you can see she makes strange faces in front of the spoon, but then she puts the spoon in and taste the soup.
So unless you had the spices in the soup, you'd be eating flabby frog's legs that have been boiled. There's not much skill in applied to the soup. It is essentially get some water, cut off the legs of a frog, put the cut off legs of the frog into the water, apply heat, a bit of salt, let it boil a little bit, take off any scummy bits that are obviously going to probably kill your customers, serve it up in a bowl with as much pizzazz as you can get your waiting staff to muster. However, the addition of the boom, there's this massive sound as kind of the whole place just rocks, and Juniper Broadbent kind of looks, oh my, that's not a good sound, and races through to the kitchen. The spices possibly should not have been so clearly applied close to fire. Whatever special ingredient gives them their little bit of pizzazz from the fireworks alley in Dale, and the grill that they were being applied to has caused a substantive explosion, for want of a better phrase, that's taken out quite a bit of the kitchen. There's a Hobbit there, comedy blackened face, as he's kind of like going, Jacob goes, yes. In the meantime, Gudrun's able just to knock the bowl over a little bit as if she spilled it.
I think the spice has been not properly applied.
Well, yeah. And as the smoke calms down, the damage isn't quite as bad as it first seems to be. It's gone straight into one of the ovens that they were making it in, and the kitchen here is a chef's delight. There are more appliances, more types of oven available here than you've possibly seen in one place before. Juniper kind of like looks across at his sous chef, stands up, dusts himself down. I don't think we should be grilling these, I think we maybe bake them in clay. Get the frog's legs covered with the spices, bake them in clay in the oven over there. I think clay baked frog's legs, clay baked spiced frog's legs, not the direct application of fire onto these spices. It's far too much for it. That's what I'm thinking. Juniper goes, sounds like a good one, that. Let's get it going. Marjorie, you've got a new special, clay-baked spiced frog's legs. Half price. So, since you're helping us out here, how about you have them for free?
Very reasonable of you.
And the lady? Your face was delightful when you had the soup. These are going to be excellent.
I hope so. Yeah. Okay, I could.
I know what we need to do. And this inspiration spreads across Juniper's face. Spiced frog leg pie.
Oh, I think I already.
Did you want to get to Hobbiton before it gets
Yes, I need
dark?
to
Or
bring- I know that I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, but I need to bring another parcel in Hobbiton before tonight. So I'm very sorry not to have the opportunity to taste your new spicy leg pie. But I need to go.
Estelle,
Thank you very much for your kind hospitality.
Estelle asked for it to go.
You can probably get the grilled ones. They'll do some normal
Yeah.
grilled ones, but the clay bake and the pie is just going to take a little bit too long.
Do the grilled ones taste better than the soup ones would?
Yes, absolutely. The way in which they grill them, even with just a bit of salt on. I mean, Esteldor probably thinks about it. And as Esteldor's eating the frog's legs as he's walking along, it strikes him how much more time these hobbits have in their day. They're not breaking camp. They're not hunting. They're not making camp. They've got all of this stuff kind of available to them. And Esteldor's experience is that 2/3 of the day gets taken in the very basics of life. Finding food, finding shelter, being able to stay warm. And here in the Shire, all of that is just available, much more so than was even encountered in, say, Bree. So these...
Oh, go on.
No, you go.
That's okay. I was just going to say to the group as we're walking along, I'm eating these frog legs on like in my hand. But after all my years in the wild, I've never actually thought about hunting for a frog. But it's not too bad.
They're quite big as well, so they're probably more toad's legs. It occurs to you than frog's legs. You moving through into
best
the
thing
lake.
you can do with best thing you can do with a frog is throw it back in the pond, in my opinion. Anyway, you know they eat slugs.
I've never eaten a frog before, and I can tell you that this is the last frog that I have eaten.
Classic. And you move along the East Road again, through to the late afternoon. It's starting to the sun's starting to dip over the horizon as you get to the 3 farthing stone. This unweathered stone stands a couple of hobbits tall. The dead centre of the Shire. There's a small group of hobbit children trying to get their way up it, standing on the top. One gets up onto the top. I'm the king of the Shire and king of the stone. Kind of like gets his leg ragged from underneath him, tumbles down as another one trying to move up and down as the road passes that. It's starting to get... Go on, sorry. Anyway.
It's okay. I was just going to say, the stone, does it look ancient? something from the old Arnor or something?
It definitely
Back in the
looks.
Arnor?
It does look ancient, yes. Do you want to make a lore roll, do you say?
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah.
And while he roll, Gudrun looks at the stone with admiration. She follow the carved picture in it with her fingers.
Oh no, I got 15. I needed 17.
Yeah, okay. So it's really hard to tell the dating of the stone. There's nothing that has such strong symbology that you can say, yes, that is the shield of Arnor or anything of that nature. But it's definitely very old and it's unweathered. It's standing the centuries that you assume it's been here without damage or dent. It's quite plain in many ways. And it is kind of triangular as it stands there, rising upwards. Grass doesn't particularly grow so close up to it. And there's a melancholy that you can feel in the air just gathered around it, even with the children playing up and down. Moving on down, it's starting to get dark again as you push on this road, and you see now as you move down into Hobbiton the pool gathered by water gathered there, and you see as you move in people flocking into the Green Dragon, the sign just swinging a little bit. You kind of make your way underneath, ducking down, and you imagine that the whole of the West Farthing are gathered there, seemingly in anticipation about these big folk that rumour has it have been moving through the Shire, ready to gather there. And everybody's kind of like sat with a flagon of ale as you kind of come through the door, looking at you as you kind of come in. All the chairs gathered around so that people can see the entrance, so that nobody's got the back to it.
Tolman will announce the company's arrival. Yes, it is I, Tolman Bunce of the messenger service. And I have been away, it's true, and now I'm back, obviously. And these are my companions who are great adventurers from very far away. Well, some of them very far away. Gert, this is Gert. He's from Bree, and this is Arthaniel. Don't worry about him. And this is his companion Esteldor and the Lady Gudrun, who hails all the way from the Kingdom of Dale.
Everybody here recognises Dale. Isn't that where Master Bilbo, Madman Baggins, etc., kind of whispers come through? Well, Tolman Buns, one of them stands forward, and Gert from Bree, and Arthaniel, and Esteldor, and the Lady Gudrun from Dale. We've been hearing tell of you all the way through the Shire, we have. We knew you'd get to the Green Dragon. You must be rather hungry.
Well, if
Thirsty
you've
too.
heard about our recent travels, then yes, you know that we're very hungry because we swiftly passed through Frogmorton
That's
for
the best
reasons
way.
which are
It's the best way to deal
obvious.
with Frogmorton. Everybody like nods and goes off. Yeah. Well, as you know, you're here now, aren't you? So, fried taters.
Yeah. Yes, please. Mushroom and goat cheese pie, if I can.
Of course you may. And for the others,
Yeah, they'll have the same.
I'll have whatever your local special is. That's the Hobbit.
fried taters it
and-
is.
And some of that famous ale that I've heard about all the way from. I've heard about your ale all the way from Brie.
As you should have done.
Oh, whatever, except pie, please.
No pie.
No, please.
But we heard that you were a big fan of pie. We heard that you did so well in the pie eating contest. We got some special pies in.
Don't say pie.
Don't say pie.
Stop saying pie. You
Has
said
pie,
it 4 times in that sentence.
has pie been pied off? Oh. And like
a soup, please. The day soup, please.
There's 3 or 4 serving hobbits, couple of young men, couple of young women who had just got trays full of pies. This is a little bit awkward. We'd heard that you were so fond of pie that you ate Whitfurrow out of pie. So, I'll have it, I'll have us! Somebody shouts from the back. You will not ham fast Gamgee. Soup.
Oh, yes, soup, please.
But you've just been to Frogmorton, so you'll want some proper actual soup. Okay. And then kind of start to move the pies around and the ale starts to come in. What is it that you're in the Shire for?
Oh, business.
Or what kind of business?
As our business, not yours.
Oh, no.
Oh, we also escorted some farmers into the Shire for some for business of theirs.
Oh, it's all business with you, isn't it? A funny little business, if you ask me.
Well, it's all just. To be honest with you, I'm just showing them round so that we did have some farmers from Brie, and they needed entry into the Shire, which I graciously gave them, and then showed them through, and they got a very good deal on their stock, and obviously it's a good opportunity for me to introduce everyone to my family. But we're only passing through, so I wouldn't worry about us staying here too long or doing any interesting business, nothing like that really. It's all very boring.
Oh. Well, we haven't had big folk here since what? We were invaded by Gandalf that morning 20 years ago. That's the kind of business that big folk have brought around here. Kidnapping young Master Bilbo Baggins as he was back then. Sending him off on an adventure. He's never been the same since.
Well, we won't be doing any there'll be none of that kidnapping going on or invading. These are brave, noble adventurers, and Lady Gudrun's come all the way from the kingdom of Dale, where there's a king.
We know all there is to know about Dale. In fact, it was only
no one told me.
It was only just 2 weeks ago that we had another traveller from Dale come through these parts, wasn't it? Now, and that one went off and headed up to to Bilbo, as all the travellers seem to do.
Oh, another person from Dale.
Yes,
Well, who?
a
What?
small big folk.
And they went up. They went up to Bag End, did they?
Well,
Not that I'm interested in that bit of it, really, but you know.
well, yes, they did. They did indeed. And you
And
hear,
what
you hear a voice slightly more gruff from behind. Are you telling people my business? And you see past, and there's a dwarf, big beard, stood there, well dressed, very respectable looking. And then just behind him, you see Master Bilbo Baggins, that Tolman definitely recognises. My business is my own, and I'd prefer it remained that way. And the dwarf kind of steps past.
Oh, we were talking about your business at all. No, just passing the time of day. You know, it's just it's obviously interesting when someone from so far away as Dale comes through the Shire. Have you met Gudrun? She's from Dale. Do you know her? She live near you.
I don't.
Do you know him? Is he?
And Bilbo comes past now. Now, well, let me introduce Tolman. Let me introduce my good friend, Balin, son of Fundin.
Oh,
And then we were just coming down for a congenial drink and some fish and potato pie.
I do. Yeah. Well, of course. Yeah, I was going to say, you know. So this is Lord Balin. Well, I never.
Gudrun immediately stand up, and the chair almost falls down, and bows in front of Balin, and also in front of Bilbo, that she became aware that is that Bilbo, not another one.
The
And
actual
she
Bilbo
blushed up.
Baggins, and he also
Yes.
has a dwarven army.
Yeah, and
Army of one.
very, very pleased to meet you, and to meet, and very lucky encounter. Well, my business here is something to do with this encounter, and Balin, I've seen you when I was a child, there in Dale, when you went through the street to the house of Bard, our king.
King Bard.
But at that time, it was not a king; it was just the archer. And well, and well, so very pleased to meet you. And where is my manner? I have a parcel for you, Mr. Bilbo. A common friend asked me to bring it to you.
Oh,
And then keep out of the sack the parcel, and bowing, hand it to Bilbo. Hands it to Bilbo.
Thank you all very much. And he takes it. I'll perhaps open that when we get back to Bag End. But let's get ourselves seated down. And leads you across to a table, and we'll call the session there. Cool.
Good stuff.
Thank you very much. So now we have Bilbo Balin in the Shire. See where that leads. Some very Shire activities going on with the Kingfisher and so on. Cool.